So last year we talked about the liquid consumable category. This year, since we're in Vegas, I'm going to talk about a different one. I think we're all over 21 here, so what I'm going to talk about is bourbon. And I think that's something that many of you like more than even water. And how do I know? Because I'm the one who gets the bar bill at the end of Connections, right? Right? And you like water, it's fine, but you really like bourbon. So I thought this example, let's go with that to illustrate how this works. So I'm going to talk about Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace, yeah, I heard a couple claps, there you go. Buffalo Trace is an incredibly successful company. In fact, they're one of the oldest companies in the United States, actually founded before the Revolutionary War, right? And what they've done is use an offering strategy to make their business grow and thrive. And they looked at their market segments, and they have many, and I'm going to highlight three. So the first one is, the drinker who wants to go to a bar on a Friday night, have a good drink with their friends. They don't want the well bourbon. They want something really good, and they want it at a good value. Then there's another segment. Let's say you're going back to your alma mater, and it's homecoming, and you're at a tailgate, and you want to bring something that's a little more special, right? Show your friends how successful you are. No, how much you appreciate them, right? And then, of course, this one over here. I don't get invited to these parties for some reason, but, they want to invite people into their parlor, right? That clock probably costs more than my house, right? And they want to have an experience like it's a wine tasting. And they want to show everyone how sophisticated they are, right? That's the positive way of saying it, but you get the idea, right? So what did they do at Buffalo Trace? You got Buffalo Trace, a great bourbon, $26, a really good value. Blanton's. By the way, if it's a Kentucky Derby party, you even got the little horsey on it, right? I love that. By the way, I remember when you can get this for 40 bucks. Now it's 162. And then, of course, for the more sophisticated palate, you've got old Rip Van Winkle, 10 years, right? Really impressive. By the way, they even have this. $6,000 if you happen to fancy yourself as the most interesting man in Kentucky, right? And by the way, here's what's really interesting. He's by himself, right? Yeah, by the way, if my bourbon cost me $300 a glass, I'd probably drink by myself too, right? Right, so this is their strategy, right? But no offering strategy is perfect, but if you have a platform, it's easy to adapt. So they've got a great strategy, but they're missing some opportunities. One that I think they should be going after is this one, right? Social fitness, right? You run your 5K and then you all drink your way back to the starting line, right? And by the way, this actually is serious. Have any of you seen an ad for this company? Right? Michelob Ultra. You watch their ads, you would think it was a fitness drink, right? Muscular people all glistening with sweat, drinking after they worked out. Although I will admit, after a run, it's probably easier to put down a bottle of Mich Ultra than a couple of glasses of bourbon, but it's an opportunity. And if they want to go after that market, it's very easy. Why? Because they have a platform. There are well over 100 whiskey labels, bourbon whiskey labels in Kentucky. There's only 10 commercial distilleries. And they use the same process. Buffalo Trace actually has 15 labels. And every single one of them uses the same process, the same materials. They modify a few things, maybe the composition of the barrel, how much rye they put in versus wheat, etc. And so this process allows them to produce 15 different labels with the same IP. And then they can go create an offering very easily. By the way, here's the fascinating part. Low end, $3, high end, $50, because it's an efficient platform. By the way, don't share this with the most interesting man from Kentucky. He would probably be crushed when he realized what he was paying for something and what the cost to produce it was. But you get the idea, right? Which is, I have a process, I have a set of capabilities, I turn that around and figure out what is driving the buying behavior for the people I want to serve, and how do I make it interesting to them, right? How do I get that old amygdala, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong 5 times, really firing? And this is the case across industries. Like, take cosmetics, L'Oreal, right? Maybelline Cosmetics, $5, $10, Lancome, $300, $400, same materials, same ingredients. You know, Marriott and hotels, I mean, it seems like every day they have a new brand of hotels, right? Dozens. From the very low end, which says you're going to get a nice clean bed, comfortable room, you can believe in that quality, all the way up to things like the Ritz-Carlton, right? And then Microsoft, famous for it, they got their business package, their personal package, their educational package. It's the same software, right? And they tweak it, they repackage it, they create an offering, and they go to market, and they're incredibly successful.